Hello, my math friends. I'm going to review for you about adding and subtracting fractions. So remember, the first thing you want to do is look at your denominators. If your denominators are different, you need to make your common denominator. So if we're looking at 4 and 5, I'm going to make my list of my multiples here. Once I have a match, I'll circle it. And this is my least common denominator, 20. So I'm going to write down my denominator of 20, and then I'm going to think, okay, I did 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 times 4 is 20, so I'm going to do 3 times 4. That's 12 there. My other side, I'm going to do 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 times 5 is 20. Whatever you do to the bottom, you need to do to the top. And now I need to add those together. So I'm just adding across the top here. 15 plus 12 here is going to give me 27 20ths. But notice my numerator is larger than my denominator. It's more than a whole. So I need to divide. 20 goes into 27 one time. I get 7 left over. 1 7/20 here would be my final answer. You're going to have an example like this in your math space. Don't be thrown off. You're still looking for your common denominator. You're just using 3 denominators instead of 2. So if I'm thinking about those there, I'm going to make my list of my multiples. Once I have my list of my multiples, I can see they all have 30 as a common denominator. So I'm going to use 30, and I'm going to think 5 times what is 30? 5 times 6. Whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do to the top. I'm going to do the same for the second. 3 times 10 is 30. So I'm going to do 1 times 10. And then the same for the last one. 2 times 15 is 30. 1 times 15 is 30. Now I'm first going to add here. Remember, when we add our fractions, once our denominators are the same, I just add across the top. So I have 16/30. Now I do the second part. I'm going to write down the bottom there. 16 minus 15 gives me 1/30. This would be my final answer. Now, when I'm subtracting my mixed numbers, it's easier if you make both improper first. So remember, to make them improper, I do 4 times 6, which equals 24, and then I do 24 plus 1, 25/4. I'm going to do the same for the other side. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 3 is 18. Now my next step, what's our next step? Find a common denominator. You might be able to just look at 4 and 5, and if you know 4 times 5 is 20, I'm going to use 20 for that common denominator. So 4 times 5 is 20. I'm going to do 25 times 5. That's a whole lot. So you might have to do the math on some of these over on the side. So I get 125. Now I'm going to do the same over here. 5 times 4 was 20. So I'm going to do 18 times 4. 32. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 more is 72. Now I'm going to go ahead, once I have my common denominator, I'm going to solve across the top. Once we set it up here, now we just go ahead and do our subtraction to get 53/20ths. Now 53/20ths, notice my numerator is larger than my denominator, so this is improper. I'm going to go ahead and divide again here. Once I divide, it goes in 2 times, and I get 13/20ths. This would be my final answer here. Now this one looks a little scarier than it needs to be. So when we're taking a look at this one here, what you could do is you could just take that 11 whole candy bars and break it up. You could make 10 candy bars and 8/8. This is the same as 11 wholes. Then we're subtracting 1 7/8 here. Now I can just go ahead and do my subtraction. 10 minus 1 would give me 9. 8/8 minus 7/8 would give me 1/8. Okay, if you still need help, please join me tomorrow morning for extra help and I'll review with you. Thanks for watching.